Hey, come on. Come on. Hey. What? Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Hey. Let's chit chat, this is the show now. Come on. Bad black mama's gonna let you know now. Hey. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Come on. Let's chit chat, let's chit chat, hey. Let's chit chat, sis. Hey, what's up? Let's chit chat, let's chit chat, let's chit chat, sis. Hey.
Look good, Mel.
Hey. Well, you know what? I had my thing is still messed up, but I put it on the phone.
Well, the phone look good. You got an iPhone.
Uh-huh.
Oh, your iPhone's real
It
good.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha, I love them
Really
glasses.
I
Thank
do
you.
too. They look good. I'm like, where my glasses at?
I need to go get my eyes checked tomorrow. I start work tomorrow.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm doing my orientation. I was supposed to Ben had started, but I'm doing my orientation tomorrow at 8. But right after that, I'm gonna get my eyes checked because I can't see a thing.
That's how I started
Can
off. I couldn't see a thing in my left eye, and it was so bad where it made me appear like I had a lazy left eye. Now my eye is a little bit lazy. Sometimes when I talk, you see it'll go in another direction slightly. You know what I mean? But it was really noticeable because I couldn't see in my eye. That eye was severely dry. Oh
yeah, dry eye will make me mess up.
Oh, yeah.
My problem is I got 20/30 vision, and I really need to be able to see clearly because sometimes I'm starting IVs on people, and you sure don't want me in there poking around.
No, Mel, we need you. We need you. We need you safe.
So I'm gonna go tomorrow, right after.
right after.
Yes, I think I get out at like 12.
The vision is nothing to play with because I went 6 months, and when they told me that the whole lens was frozen over, you know, it was a cataract. It froze over. It's called a cataract because old people get cataracts that float. My whole lens was frozen, so I have a replaced lens now where I literally couldn't see. Like if I closed my eyes, that one eye, and I used to be walking, it was like nothing, like just a tinted window or something. I was like,
oh that's terrible.
God. Yeah, it was bad. Then the dry eye on top of it, it was
dry
terrible.
eye hurts. It really hurts.
It's painful.
It is very painful.
It's painful.
I've had it before. Extremely painful.
All right, ladies. Welcome to the Yeezy show.
Yeah.
I want to keep it a little light, but I just had, I don't know if you heard Jose telling me a little bit of his thoughts about Kanye. I wanted to do this episode because I think that first and foremost, I will say mental illness should never be a way to dismiss somebody. That's my opinion.
True.
Never. Mm-hmm. And do we think Kanye West is dealing with mental illness? I think so. I think
we absolutely know he is.
Yeah. I think when I say dealing with, I think in the fact that it's not under control. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's in a bad space right now. I just worry that we're in a culture where people suffering with mental illness, people committing suicide is not at the top of the leaderboard for let's see what's really going on. So I don't want to jump to that because that's going to be another episode we do, but I just want to talk about Kanye because I got mixed feelings. Do y'all got mixed feelings about Kanye, or how y'all feel about Kanye?
I don't have mixed feelings about it. I'm pretty like Kanye seems to be the type of person that says what he says and stands on it, and he's gonna go down dying with the ship, right? I don't agree with everything he says, and I definitely don't agree with anti-Semitic remarks. Definitely, don't agree with that. But I don't really have mixed feelings. I mean, I think we're in a world of cancel culture. People can't even say what they feel anymore, or you can't even talk. Even comedians are getting canceled. Kanye West been running around here acting like a fool for 20 years. And now you want to cancel him after he has money and power? It's stupid. But anyway, that's my deal.
Okay, let's get into what first of all, for our listener audience, just what he has said or done in recent, just this month alone.
Come on, girl, because I know you got it there.
All right. So, you're wearing your black White Lives Matter T-shirt during Paris Fashion Week. You got booted off of Instagram and Twitter for making anti-Semitic remarks to Jewish people. You appeared on Fox News with Tucker Carlson, and you ran it against Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
You announced that you were buying Parler, which is a right-wing social media site run by Candace Owens' husband. You posted angry comments and threats to your wife. And so in the midst of doing that, also saying that George Floyd
yeah.
Did an overdose. Fentanyl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You said slavery is a choice. It's just a barrage of things if you have said just in this last quarter of the year. And so some of the things that have happened to him, there's that Adidas stopped working with him.
Mm-hmm.
What is that called? Balenciaga had severed their ties.
Some of those were choices he made. Yeah. Some of those were choices.
Gap. Yeah. His talent agency, CAA.
Mm-hmm.
And even Kim K, she of course rebuked her husband as well. And so that is what happened just in this month alone. And some people say, well, why? A lot has happened. And people say, well, why has he gotten canceled from anti-Semitic messages? It's because, for one thing, that culture sticks to message. They are on board. With us, we tend to say, well, that's Kanye, or end up forgiving or whatever. But if we don't like something, they say, well, his money, we have the power to also disrupt money if we don't like something, because we are Black, because Black people are the biggest consumers. You don't have to buy those things, because you can't say, well, why did they do that? That's because it affected them. That's their culture. So you're not going to talk about me. So if you're going to say, I'm going to DEFCON 3 on you, which means high alert.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's stop right there. Can you please explain? Because I worked in the Army. When he said that, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, and I had to research that. What it means when there is a threat from the United States, they have these certain levels. Okay. And so that level means I need to get ready in 15 minutes. That means 15-minute warning, and then we're going to strike or whatever. And so he said DEFCON the Jewish people. And so, okay. And then I just saw something. I think what you all sent to us, where he's saying a message about instead of having Black History Month, future Black History. Okay, but you now how make all of that make sense? You're gonna vote or have your allegiance to in public things that are against what you say we need to do. So to me, it's like a person that is double-minded, and it doesn't make sense. So when you say something that makes sense in this aspect, then on the other aspect, it's like totally going against what you say. That's just my opinion. So therefore, the message may be right in this one, but okay, I can't trust the messenger because you're doing things that's not in a line to your last message.
Exactly. Like
that's just me. Now, should we cancel him? He needs help. I think he needs help.
That's what I think. I don't think he needs to be canceled because I think everybody has an opportunity to speak their minds. We have freedom of speech. I do not agree with his hate speech, but I do feel like he has the right to say what's on his mind. right or wrong, because, and even on this platform, we have the right to say what's on our mind, right or wrong. I just don't agree with the cancel somebody every time they do something anti-Semitic stuff. They should drag him to the fire and make him apologize. I think he did, but
Oh, yeah, he did.
He
yeah,
apologized. He did. I guess it's the message of when he apologized, because he went on a
because
live.
he apologized October the 28th. He apologized to the George Ford family about the comments, because he said
That's a little too late now.
Adidas humbled him because he went from a billionaire to a millionaire in just a few days.
Day.
Yeah.
A day.
And
okay,
so yeah.
So, this is my feeling on it. The messenger is just convoluted the whole message, because he like you said, Keisha, you hit all the points. Thank you, girl. Because all of that in a month, damn, somebody can't do that in a lifetime. And he just did it all that in 1 month, and
what y'all talking about? Donald Trump did all that stuff in no time.
Donald Trump called him crazy. Now you already know that's something wrong. Donald Trump called him crazy. Like, yo, first we need you to help shift the votes. Now, you crazy. I don't even want to touch you. So it's really bad that some of the things he say, and I'm just gonna say this much. Some of the things he say is something that we as people of color should be having a conversation about. Like, when he talks about ownership of the things that we bring to the table, the music, art, all the things we bring to the table, the hair industry, all the things that we have no ownership on, and we're fighting to get ownership. I think he has valid points that we should be having a conversation about. Yes, but because you say this a week after you just running around with the White Lives Matter shirt on, and not, really telling the message of why you had that shirt on, because again, everybody lives matter, but do you know why Black Lives Matter even came into fruition? Because that's just that's a little ass backwards. You see what I'm saying? So if you really care about your own culture, because Kanye, it is your own culture, then why is it that you said that slavery was a choice? We are still living with the remnants of slavery, with laws that have been put into place to still put people of color as almost in a, not almost, but putting us in a position where we have to struggle to get wealth. Rich is not wealth, you know what I mean? Because we don't have things established for us to become wealthy. And you joke almost about it, not that you even care that Harriet Tubman, she really didn't do anything. To me, when I hear him say something like that, okay, you didn't take your meds that day, because that sounds a little retarded. I mean, I don't care. Sorry, I shouldn't use that word, oops, but it doesn't sound normal. It doesn't sound that you are trying to look out for your own culture. I mean, do y'all feel the same way? And then he comes back with, let me give you some insight on people of color. What you have, you need to fight for your right to get your music, get your master, get blah, blah, blah. People don't want to hear it, because at the point, you're just like a loose cannon. You're just saying any and everything. Like, where's this going? Far as canceling him, to me, I was like, whoa, isn't it like so powerful that when he said something about Jewish people, it was like domino. Everybody was canceling. When the Goodwill cancel you, I don't know where else you're going to go. Like, we don't even want your shoes in the Goodwill. Damn, don't they get that away for damn they're free? Like, wow, is that a message? That is not.
That is a message.
That's a message.
That's a message.
I was looking forward to at least getting them rubber ones in the Goodwill, because I mean, I don't like them, but I could, wear them in the wintertime or whatever, but they're not even going to be in the Goodwill now. So
I feel like it's not his responsibility to hold up the culture. And he also said during one of his recent messages that he's given up on the culture because it's been so invaded. I just feel like
go.
But then he makes statements, but did he explain it all out of what you just said? It's
No.
invaded how? He's
He
giving
did. He went into a
why.
lot of detail about it. And he talked about, and that was one of the messages that I sent out to you guys. He also talked about how, you know, we have to take some responsibility for some of the things that continue to happen to us. Like, okay, it's nice that Balenciaga canceled him or Gap canceled him, but they are a big platform as well. And they could really be holding up the culture in many more ways, but instead they're focusing on Kanye West. Nobody cares about him.
So how about if we cancel them?
Well, but we don't. And
that's
that
the
was one
point
of his
that I
messages.
think he's making. But he
See,
can't
that's the point. He was like, stop spending all your money buying fancy clothes and go buy some property.
Buy some property.
I agree with that.
See? Go ahead, Keisha.
I agree with that. But then you also, if that's the case, well, align yourself up with. We have rules and we have laws in this society. We have one way that we can get things to change for us is to vote our interest. When you go and you purposely go to someone who cares nothing about our interest, nothing. Then this message right here kind of defeats that message over there.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. I agree we need to buy property. I agree that we need to stop focusing on the name brand stuff and focus on something that can give us generational wealth. But also too, to do that, why would I vote or not or vote against my voting rights for certain things? Why would I vote against somebody who's going to say we can't have these programs or that program to help us as a whole? That's my thing. You saying this, which is good, but you're doing that, which it doesn't align up to me. It just doesn't align up. So
I think that the whole biggest problem with him is because I'm gonna jump on what you said, Mel. He doesn't want to be in line with the culture, but you're saying things that one can help the culture, but then you say something else that hinders the culture. You know,
right.
The thing that really kind of because you know my kids and probably your kids too, Keisha and Ramel are in the Kanye era. You see what I'm saying? So people really like Kanye and they consider him a musical genius, and I still do too. I think where the problem comes into play is that does he not feel like he's been used to in this whole situation to push the agenda of those who don't have people of culture, people of color interest, best interest at heart? Because you know, I'm gonna think back to the last presidential election. What was Kanye doing? You know what I mean? Trying to run himself over some nonsense. You already know all that was going to do is split the vote. It was foolishness. You know what I mean? But the foolishness is not going to impact him like it's impacting us because we're not sitting here wealthy, you know, and hell, they making him know that we're going to make you not wealthy real quick. You see what I'm saying? We're going to snatch back everything we think that you deserve and work for. We're going to let you know how easy it is to take it away from you. So I think that Kanye don't get brownie points. And then why I really think that he is aloof now is because I heard him on another show where he was out there talking about his children's mother, Kim Kardashian, talk about her mother, which is the kid's grandmother, you know, in a way that was so degrading where you were like, you just said over here that we should be doing this to build ourselves and live better, but you're not an example of that. You see what I'm saying? You're not an example because you're over here bashing somebody who, even if you have differences, you got kids with them and they're not little tiny kids no more. They can pick up the internet and see what you're saying. You know what I mean? So you're not out for nobody. You're out for self. That's what I think he is. I think he's out for self. And what anybody want to hear from him, he gonna say. That's my thought on Kanye. I think he is getting what he deserved. You know what I mean? I think he should have got what he deserved when he basically bashed, you know, that slavery was a choice. Slavery was a choice in some of the states. Do you know that slavery is on the ballot for the midterms? like, whoa, this is something that,
But then that is a choice. That
but
part is a choice, because
that's
you
a
don't vote for
choice.
those people who put it on the ballot. You don't vote for them. I'm not talking about slavery when we were brought over here back in the day. I'm not
But
talking about
that's the
that.
part
But I'm
he's
talking about
talking about.
you vote. I'm talking about you vote your best interest, because that is your choice. And
Let's think about this much, Mel.
Mhm.
That's a choice. But think about if somebody doesn't vote because they feel like, when they listen to Kanye and it's a bunch of nonsense,
Exactly.
then your state is in slavery again. And you don't have no more choices because you ain't gonna be able to vote no more. Because you become 2/3 of a person and blah, 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 and all that again. These things shouldn't be taken lightly,
Definitely. I definitely
When you
don't take
put
them
that back
lightly.
on a ballot, don't we feel like something is going terribly wrong in this country?
I feel like that from 2016, something has gone terribly wrong. But now it's taking Kanye to act a real monkey. Oh, maybe I should say that. I shouldn't say that. Act a real fool, because somebody's gonna take that the wrong way.
Yeah.
But now we wait till he act a real fool, and now we want to bring up these issues that have always been sitting right in front of us.
You can say
Kanye
act
has
like an
acted this
ass.
way since his mother died.
Yeah.
Out of
His
control.
mom died. When his mom died, I can still see it clearly. When Donda died, he was
Broken.
he was broken. He was broken. I mean, he's still broken today. He was
Yeah.
broken because she was really, his backbone. He was broken. Um, he couldn't understand it. You know what I mean? Because she was having a elective surgery. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? If we look at it, anything can happen to us at any time. It's not to justify
Mhm.
her passing, but I think he just could not get himself solid to understand that this is what she chose to do, and unfortunately, things didn't go right, and now she's not here, and you get the right to grieve. But has he not seeked help since the time she's been gone?
I think he has, but I don't think he ever thought he was going to walk through this life, get the success, and the people. There are vultures on him too. These big companies that
Yeah.
are taking advantage of him. I don't think he ever thought he was going to walk through life without her, and I
But
don't
I
think
think
he's
he didn't
ever
want.
fully
I think he
recovered.
didn't want that company though. These companies, because
Yeah.
he talked about it. Balenciaga, he wanted to get out that contract.
He wanted out. He wanted out. He
out.
wanted out with all of them, so
He
he could
wanted
go
out.
straight to the people.
Go straight to the people. Because I don't know if you saw the boots he wear. What are they, like $500? I mean, like they're like 50 cents now, but they were like $500. I mean, really, they're like worth 50 cents now, but they were like $500, Keisha. And they just look like the old rubber boots that we used to put on our kids, you know what I mean, when they was little people. But people were buying them. What about them slip-on ones? They look like a half of a what's them shoes? I got a pair of them. With the
Half
little
of a
holes.
crop.
Croc look like a half of a Croc shoe.
I walked in my living room 2 days ago, and I saw these big monster Martian looking boots, and I think they're them Yeezy boots. And that may be how he ended up getting a pair, because they might be only worth 50 cents now.
They are really low. I'm sure they are on probably eBay or something. The clothes was a little strange to me. I just couldn't get with the clothes. Y'all see the clothes? The clothes I couldn't get when it was like something was missing. Like, what it looked like a trash bag or something like yeah, it was a little bit, maybe we outdated in our mind, but yeah, I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for that, but now it's worth $1. So in case you want to try it and see how it look on you, you can.
He was still opening up in Paris for Fashion Week, so they like something that he's got going on.
But
even in the middle of his breaking his deal going sour with Balenciaga, he still opened in Paris Fashion Week with them.
So do y'all feel that there's any redemption for Kanye?
It's a redemption for us all.
He needs some Abilify. That's what he needs.
I just think he needs just sometimes just take a moment and just be silent. Just take a moment, be silent. Just
say nothing. Say nothing. Say nothing. Go go get help and come back out in a humble manner. That may, uh, you know, everybody like the underdog, especially people in America. We like the underdog. So he may come back as a humble person. He's well now. Start speaking out for mental illness and how it can, you know, take your life in
Yeah,
a
and get a good circle. Get a good circle around you and just
yeah.
focus on himself.
Because
Just
we
focus on
can't
getting
take,
better. Yeah, just focus on.
we can't take away that he's talented.
Oh, of
Because he is
course.
talented. He's
Very
talented.
talented.
He's a very talented person. He's wrote music for a lot of these people out here. Now people back away from him now because they don't want to be, associated with him. But I'm sure that they probably making that little secret phone call like, yo, I'm getting ready to put a record out. Can you help me write this and this?
No,
Because
he
the
has put
people are
out
not
one.
fools, you know what I mean? Especially when we talk about us in the music industry. We're not fools. We want to hear music. And he's a producer on a lot of music. I don't think people will shoot themselves, especially us, shoot ourselves in the foot and not have Yeezy around. Because isn't that the whole big problem we have now? We don't draw a line where we should draw a line at.
Yeah, and that's what one person said in the article that I read. It says, Kanye, and I'm paraphrase, Kanye, he says things, then he says things outrageous, then he digs in on those things. Sometime in the past, he will apologize, and then he will bring out something new that everybody like, a new album or say a new
Yeah,
concept, and then we'll forgive him.
yeah,
But now he has done that like a cycle. He has done that so many times. Now it's getting more serious,
yeah.
and a lot of people's like really trying to cancel him. But I think there is some redemption. I really
I do
do.
too. I do too. I do too. I think that Kanye is misguided first and foremost because I think that when he's in his most vulnerable state, some people take advantage of that, and
A lot
use
of
it for
people.
their benefit. I ain't gonna mention their name, but people just think he was orange. But I think the biggest thing that he has to do, like you said, Keisha, is probably go lay low. You know what I mean? Go lay low. Go spend time with your children. So you won't get to a part where Kim is not even willing to deal with you anymore. Because those kids are little kids, but they're old enough to understand. Just focus on them. Focus on being a good dad. I saw this interview he did. When was this? Like 2 days ago. I think he had valid points when he was talking about um, he didn't want his children around somebody who was known to be dabbling in heroin. And
Right.
come on now, like, would you want your kids around that too? I mean, he deserves credit because it's not like he's a deadbeat dad. He does spend time with his children. But it's again, like you said, Keisha, you say something and then the crazy message come out, and then you like, yo, what are you saying?
Then people dismiss the good message
Miss
because of the crazy
because of
message.
the
Yeah.
craziness. The craziness. At first, I used to think it was publicity. Did y'all used to think it was just publicity in the
I
beginning?
still think it is publicity, and I don't hold Kanye in any regard on a high level for any type of role model. So I think he's just a human being making a whole lot of mistakes in life, and it's kind of stupid that he said what he said, but I think sometimes he is doing things for attention. He needs it, and he needs the right kind of attention. Somebody need to go check him into a clinic.
Yeah, because I just don't want to see like if he is at his his wits end and he's out here saying stuff that is giving people like signals like help me,
Help. Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and he goes and does something to harm himself, you know what I mean, or anything because we already know he's dealing with some things that he's taking medication for, and it's kind of the elephant in the room where you say, does that give you the bandwidth to um, be disparaging to anybody or mistreat anybody or just be straight up hateful and disrespectful to somebody? Because that's where we're at with Kanye, because Kanye gets passes, like you said, and then come out with something else, and we all gravitate. We forgive you, but you know, the Jewish community, we have to admit, is a tight lock community. Yeah. You know, my grandma used to always say, "F around and you'll find out." Well, you did. You know what I mean? Now you did. You pushed every other little thing, and now you just said that, and now, bam, 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 bam. You know, I'm like, my head's spinning, so I know his head got to be spinning. So, you know, again, we are all compassionate people. We don't live the life of Kanye or anybody in Kanye's circle, but we do have enough sense to know that something is seriously wrong here, seriously wrong. And I feel like this: canceling him could be a shift to understand that you could be canceled for that real quick. When people have said other things, we know a lot of people said other things, and they have not went from a status from billionaire to millionaire to damn near. Do you got any money? Because think about it, banks and everybody are pulling back from him. You see what I'm saying? It's not just what we see that say, okay, well, you don't have to deal with this person, you don't got to deal with that person. Banks pull away from you. You know, you got homes and everything like that. You don't know what can happen with that. You see what I'm saying? We don't know if he has a balloon loans out or whatever. You become a target for anybody who wants to show. If you say the wrong thing, we know how to treat you, we know how to teach you. You see what I'm saying? So
control him. That's what they're doing. Because I really believe that there are white people out there that have said many of the same things he said, and they didn't get all that back away. This is just control of another black man. He's wrong. Don't get me wrong. He dead wrong. But I don't like the way they're showing that they still have a controlling hold over the black community.
That is so true.
That's true.
That is so true. Think about some people that are out here who have blatantly came out and said racist things.
Yeah.
They go away and come back, and they're received. I don't know. It's just
some of them don't even go away. Some of them just go to Mar-a-Lago.
Thank you. I was thinking it. Yes.
You said go. That was a good one. Let me give you a hand on that. That was a good one. That was a good one. Yes. But you know, you learn. Don't you try that. Don't you try that. Don't you try that at home, kids. Don't try it.
Exactly.
So, all right.
It's just a reminder.
Final thoughts.
My final thought would be just be quiet. Just think about the kids. Think about to him. If I was talking to him, just think about the kids. His kids.
Mel?
My final thought is the same as my opening thought. I don't feel one way or another about canceling him particularly, but I just feel it's still control of the black man. And until we get out from under that, there's going to be a constant stream of cancel. You can't even speak your mind. Now, the remarks he made, again, wrong, but I still think it's control. We're going to show you. We're going to show you that we built you, we made you, we're going to break you.
Yeah. And my final thoughts is, I hope this starts conversation. I hope our episode starts conversation, but I hope this episode, along with the situation, starts conversation amongst people of color on, how do we perceive ourselves, and when do we think that we deserve more, and we will, discontinue relationships too, because I think this is all about relationships. And if we don't have that united front, like I'll say it, like the Jewish community has, I think we become more acceptable to things that we shouldn't. And how about if we just said we don't want to have Kanye as a part of what we consider our culture, and have him as a part of our circle. But we don't say that. We don't say that, or we don't even have a conversation with Kanye to say, "Hey, Kanye, what you said did not go right here." You know what I mean? And what you said first didn't make any sense, because we didn't even address it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't even think that in my final thoughts that I want to be remiss to say that the Jewish community didn't have this opportunity to say, Kanye, what did you mean? I think you need to clarify that, or give us the opportunity to have have dialogue with them, because they didn't do that. They just cut him off. You see what I'm saying? But just 2 weeks before, he said some things that if we had a choice, we would have had discontinued our relationship with him, far as our buying power. Like, I'm not going to support that anymore, because he doesn't respect the journey and the trauma that people of color have been through. We didn't do that. You know what I mean? So I think it's an opportunity to have that type of conversation. I say that about him. I say that about Ice Cube. I say about anybody out here who acts like they're not in the same position we are in as people of color. We need to have that conversation. And finally, please vote. Because if you don't vote,
Yes,
you don't vote,
Mhm.
you can't say nothing.
exactly.
So thank you, ladies. It was great. This was a good episode. It was a really good
I
episode.
like it.
Yes.
Go Eagles. We won the day. Won the day. So I don't know, I'm getting hoarse. So I think this episode is good. You know, it drops this Wednesday. I can't wait to get feedback from people, because I think a lot of people are not talking about it, but we talk about it. You know, we're on the scene talking about it. So join us every Wednesday when we drop a new episode. You can check us on our social media page, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, we're on a lot. We're on a lot. So you'll know what's going on. You definitely don't want to miss this episode. So joining me tonight is,
I'm your girl Keisha.
I'm Ramel.
and I'm Kimmy. So everybody have a wonderful week on purpose, and we'll see you next week.